So after you look at the descriptive statistics of your data, which we did in the previous video, which is about the mean, the average, centiles, and maybe some kind of a pivot table with the help of table command in Stata. The next, of course, is to look at graphs. And if you have not watched the previous video, what you have to do, you have to open this data code 1 Ames Homes. You have to obviously load the data and proceed to line 51. And the next convenient type of a graph is a scatter plot. So let's start with a simple example of how sale price relates to lot area. So the Stata convention is that the first variable which you provide will be actually on the vertical axis, so sale price will be variable on the vertical axis, and the second one will be the lot area on the horizontal axis. So again, please make sure that you have the correct order here. So if I do it, I will have this issue of some houses in this area. There's just 5 houses which are really large by lot area, right? And they are kind of hiding the possible correlation between lot price and area. And of course, what we want to do here, we want to maybe check, we remove these outliers. Again, I'll talk more about outliers in the future videos, but we can do it right away on this graph to explore the linear relationship for these majority of houses which are under 60,000 or maybe even 50,000 acres in this lot area. So how we do that? Once again, we use the option if lot area is less than 60,000 before comma. And also one of the things which are not very convenient, to be honest, in Stata is that the graphs have this gray background, right? And when you read some term paper or report, you often see that it's generated by Stata, right? If it's not, change this background color. And for me, it's like really irritating. So what I do, I change the background to white, and then you can nicely put into your Word file, and that's it. So again, I need to add this graph region color white option, and if I do that, observe that my gray area is gone, and now I have white area on these options. And also observe that I only have houses with a lot area under 60,000, and it looks more like a positive correlation, something I would expect to observe when I remove this very large houses with large area. And once again, you can add additional details like titles of Y and X axis, right, or vertical and horizontal axis. And also notice that sometimes you have like a really long line of a code if you add all of these options in Stata. And what you can do, you can split it over 2 lines, right? So of course, if I just run this line 75, I'll get the error message because I have opened that the comment will run into the next line. And that's why you have to highlight both of these lines. And it's exactly the same as we use for comments, right? So here we have a forward slash, then we have asterisk, and you kind of open comment, but essentially you let Stata know that your comment will continue on the next line, and then you kind of close it, asterisk, and again forward slash, and you continue your line here over 2 lines. Okay, so let's execute this code, and now we have updated the labels for vertical and horizontal axis, and again that's also convenient. And of course, if you work with data, you often want to look for some kind of linear relationship in your data, and the way to get it is to add the linear trend line. Like if you use Excel, you also like to add this sort of linear trend. And how to do that? You will need to use a command two-way scatter, right? Essentially, you have to add multiple overlaying graphs, and it can actually go on, and you can add additional lines on this graph if you want. So for example, my first line will be exactly the same as before, right? So I want to have this relationship between sale price for houses with lot area under 60,000, but I have these 2 symbols, right, to separate my second graph, which will be added, and I have this option LFit, which is like linear fit, right? We'll talk more about linear regression in the following videos, but here I just want to put on the top of my dots this linear trend line. And exactly, I also limited by my lot area, right? So you can, in principle, you can remove that. You can keep it simple if you want when you start working on that. But again, I think it's good for you to know a little bit more than just like some basics. So again, if I run these 2 lines of code, I will get, again, a red line added to my graph, which shows me some, positive dependency of sale price on lot area. Of course, it's not perfect because, there are many other factors which relate to sale price. Probably houses with lot area are further away from downtown, and of course, so it's not like 100% correlation here. To practice these and many additional Stata tools, please check out the description for a coupon code to my new course, Jumpstart Stata in 2 hours. Thank you.